Hi guys, Danielle here and welcome to this video. First things first, I just want to apologise for not uploading in the last week. I lost my phone, which meant I lost my camera, which meant I couldn't film any videos. I've got my phone back now. I'm not going to go into how that all transpired. I might do a story time or something at a later date, but at the moment it's a bit raw to talk about. But this video is something that I want to talk about and discuss, and maybe some of you are going through the same thing, or maybe you've got tips or things that you think will help me in my situation at the moment. So we are discussing vegan parents with non-vegan children. Now, it sounds a little bit odd that you have vegan parents with non-vegan children, and I think it is. I think if you transition before you have children, or you transitioned when your children are really small, chances are you're going to raise your children vegan. At a later date, they'll obviously decide whether that's something they want to follow through with, which hopefully, if they've learnt enough stuff and they've been taught well, they will carry that on, but there is obviously no guarantees. Now, when I transitioned, my children were obviously a lot older and sort of set in their ways, food-wise, if you know what I mean. They like what they like and they don't like what they don't like, and there's no sort of grey area in between. Now, when I transitioned, it was something that was a major thing for me. It was so far beyond what I was, who I'd been, and what I'd learned. You know, side note, I did used to work in a butcher's, so for me, it was something that was completely alien, and it was such a major change. And I was quite overwhelmed that I could only focus on what I was doing at that point, you know, and in retrospect, I think that probably was the best thing, you know, focusing on myself and letting the other things come into place, hopefully, as and when everybody was sort of ready or I had more knowledge about what I was doing. I first started with my diet, changed what I ate, and that was an overnight thing. There was no sort of, right, I'll stop eating meat and then I'll cut out dairy and then I'll cut out things that contain dairy and everything like that. It was overnight completely, and it was hard, but it was manageable. And once I'd got the food side down, I then looked on to cosmetics, cleaning products, ethical clothing. So that was obviously a little bit more trickier, but we got there. And I think now I've got a vast knowledge of what I'm able to buy, what is suitable for vegans and safe for vegans, and what is in line with my own morals at this given moment. Now, through all of that, changing myself and changing what I was doing, my husband decided that he would join, that he wanted to transition himself because he saw the positive impact that that had on my life. And that was I never pushed him to do it. There was no coercion there at all. He just saw the positive changes that were happening in me, and he wanted to experience those same positive changes. Now, when my husband decided he was going to transition, that's when I decided to look at what the family consumed as a whole. And I'm not going to lie, when I was doing it on my own, it did upset me to watch the children and him consuming these animal products, knowing that they were not healthy for them, and it was not the best thing they could be doing at that time. And I felt like an absolute crappy parent. I felt so irresponsible. I felt like a terrible mother, that I wasn't doing the best for them. But I don't think I would have been able to at that point also. That's not an excuse. Still felt like a crappy parent, right? You know, you feel, I think, no matter where you are in life as a parent, I think you always kind of judge yourself and feel like you're not doing the best job that you can be doing. If you show me a person that tells you that they think they're 100% the best mother in the world, they're lying, because that's not true. I put my kids on time out, for crying out loud, and I feel like a crappy parent, but I know it's what's best for them. I know I'd rather discipline them now so they can grow up to be responsible adults than just let them do whatever they want, and that's going to cause a whole load more problems in the future. But I'm getting sidetracked a little bit there. So as I said, I started to look at what the family was consuming as a whole, and I started to make changes, trying to make those changes as familiar as possible to them, so that they weren't overwhelmed, so they didn't feel like their whole world had been, you know, turned upside down, and just something that was manageable for them. So, you like hot dogs? Right, we bought vegan hot dogs. You like pizza? We made vegan pizza. And that was really something that was important, to keep it as familiar to them. Now, they all like different things, and I think anybody with any sort of parent with multiple children understands that not all your children like the same things. You know, any given night, as stupid as this may sound, and some of you may be like, well, just make the one thing, and if they like it, like it. If they don't, they don't. That's kind of not how it works out in reality. On any given evening, I could be making 3 different dinners according to what they like, don't like. Off the top of my head right now, I can't even think of one food that the 4 of them will sit down and eat. Guaranteed. I can't. The closest thing is maybe pizza, but then my daughter's not really a fan of pizza, but she'll kind of eat it if she has to. Now, the changes I've made in the house are fantastic, absolutely fantastic, and they will eat vegan in my house. Where I struggle is, although I've got control about what they eat in the house and what they're consuming, I do not have control over what they're consuming out with the house, right? So my oldest, he is in high school, and he'll maybe come home and I'll be like, did you have a nice day? What did you have for your dinner? And he tells me he's going to KFC for his lunch. Now, that's obviously his choice. I can't control that aspect when he's outside the house. I just hope that I've taught him enough to maybe make better choices. But I do understand at the same point, you know, he's at high school, he's with a group of friends, and they're all going to KFC for lunch. And I think there is an aspect of, he doesn't want to seem like the odd one out, if that makes sense to you. He wants to like be with the crowd and not seem like he's the odd one and get sort of scrutinised for that. And I understand that. I completely understand that. No child wants to feel like the odd one out. I also don't control what they have when they go to family members' house. It's nice when I've heard them ask for a vegan option. It is really nice, and they do that sometimes, and I appreciate that fully, but it's not always the case. So I'm struggling, I'll be honest with you. I am struggling. If anybody's got any links to any information that is age appropriate for children that I could maybe share with them, I'd really appreciate it. I want to give them the tools to make an informed decision, and I don't think me just speaking to them at the moment is giving them all the information that they could possibly have. So if you guys have any, as I say, any links or any tips to help us out, if you leave them in the comments below, I would really, really appreciate it. And if anybody's going through the same thing I am and, you know, wants to leave us a comment and let us know how you're doing, that would be absolutely fantastic. So I will leave it there, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.